They wanted to know what I would do if Benoit Saint Denis didn't get going, if he didn't win tonight. I guess we'll never know. All right, I'm joking, guys. Dustin Poirier proved me wrong. The pressure made a diamond, and Dustin Poirier got it done. Okay? To Dustin, I was totally overlooking that grit, that veteran, gritty old boxing, okay? He got it done. And I was going to come on here and I was going to cope, and you guys saw the cope if you watched my live stream. But I rewatched the fight, and despite Dustin Poirier making tons of mistakes, despite him pulling guillotine after guillotine, despite him getting out-grappled, despite him getting his back taken and being put in Benoit's best spots, he still found a way to survive, to get up to his feet, and to knock Benoit Saint Denis out, and to not gas out like I expected him to do. So I'm here to say that I was wrong, okay? It was too big of a jump up. Benoit wasn't ready for it. He couldn't handle the diamond. He couldn't handle the boxing. And Dustin's gritty, crafty pocket boxing actually got him the job done. And I will say this. We got to address the elephant in the room. All right, we got to. Despite the fact that Benoit Saint Denis had a volcano on his forehead, despite the fact that Benoit Saint Denis showed up with a staph infection that just crippled him, just totally crippled him. I'm joking. Fuck, I'm coping so hard right now. Despite the fact that Benoit Saint Denis may possibly have not been at his best, and the gas tank that we saw tonight may not be the best representation of what it would usually look like, he was given so many moments from Dustin Poirier. Poirier made tons of mistakes, handed moments to Benoit on silver platters. He was giving him the French onion soup. He was giving him the escargot, the frog legs, okay? And Benoit Saint Denis still fumbled, despite being given these opportunities. Despite being given mount and Poirier's back multiple times. Still lost. And so for that, I have to say, Dustin Poirier proved me wrong. I mean, I guess I'll show you guys my actual live reaction to the finish. Benoit is looking slow as fuck, bro. He's so slow on the feet. It's so nerve-wracking. Big body shot from DP. Poirier rocks them. Oh! Poirier blinked it again! The fuck is he doing? He knocked him out. Poirier knocked him out. Poirier chins Benoit Saint Denis, round 2. Poirier just knocked out Benoit Saint Denis, round 2. Damn. Ah, god damn it. Fuck. The gritty old, crafty old veteran boxing of DP and the the Christmas spirit, the spirit of Dustin Poirier's fans. The people that were saying the pressure makes diamonds. They were right. And I was fucking wrong. I honestly overhyped this guy a little bit. His striking defense is atrocious. Like, I honestly think that he's cooked in front of any truly elite and fast fighter in the lightweight division that has good takedown defense. Now, I still think Benoit Saint Denis has a great future in this division. Is he going to be a champion? I don't think so. But I never said that he was going to be a champion. I just thought he would get past Dustin Poirier. Do I think he would beat Justin Gaethje? Yes, I do. Dustin Poirier is a tough out on the ground. Does it mean he is the best fighter on the ground? No. And he still whooped Benoit Saint Denis and knocked him out cold. All right? It's actually kind of crazy how he KO'd him stiff. It's like, when I'm most confident on these picks, I get them brutally wrong. And it's never just, oh, you get it kind of wrong. It's the most brutal fashion in which I get the ones wrong that I'm most confident in. I still think he beats a bunch of guys in this division. I want to see him fight Gamrot next. I think he beats Gamrot. All right? I think the Gaethje fight is a nightmare on the feet, but I think if he takes Justin Gaethje down, he's strong enough to do it. And he fights with a really good game plan when he needs to. I'll talk about that in 5 seconds, but if he fights with a good game plan, I think if he takes down Justin the white belt Gaethje, I think he could probably beat him. So I'm not just going to sit here and say that he was the biggest fraud of all time and he didn't have any redeeming qualities in this fight. That's just not true at all. He took down Dustin Poirier. He did really good work on the ground. He fought a really good game plan as well, and that's one thing that we have to talk about, which actually makes it even more impressive that Dustin won, is that I think that the way in which Benoit approached this fight was perfect. Okay, he didn't go out there and mess around on the feet early on. He didn't try to scrap early on in this fight. Now, he made mistakes in the second, and he was slugging a little bit too much in the pocket with DP in the second, but early on in this fight, the only striking we saw from Benoit, outside of a couple of kicks to open the first round up, was basically clinch striking in elbow range, which is a much safer bet than the pocket or boxing range with DP. So not only was he showing clinch striking, but he was shooting takedown after takedown after takedown, sticking to Dustin Poirier like glue, and taking a grappling-heavy approach. So he stuck to a game plan. And I actually think that that's pretty good, considering a lot of people viewed Benoit Saint Denis as just some wild guy, some like uncontrollable wild man on the feet. No, he actually like fought really well early on in this fight. Of course, it got away from him a little bit as soon as he started to get tired. He got sloppier. He left himself exposed. My goodness, his striking defense is atrocious, and he needs to work on that. And I mean, let's also be honest about it. His speed is not up there. Like, he's not that fast. And he is powerful. He has a good chin. Speaking of chins, granite chins are going left and right. It's like, you can't really rely on people having a granite chin that much anymore. Francis Ngannou getting laid out. Benoit Saint Denis getting KO'd. Cheeto didn't get laid out. There's that. We're going to talk about that later, but Benoit's speed was atrocious. Like, I was shitting my pants every single time he was throwing strikes in the middle of the cage with Dustin Poirier. It just felt like it was only a matter of time if Benoit was unable to get a finish on the ground after viewing the kind of speed that Benoit had versus Dustin Poirier's speed, and we know how good Dustin is at finding counters. It felt like it was a matter of time before Benoit would have been slept like that, or at least hurt badly, and you just can't get hit by Dustin, or I'm sorry, you can't get rocked by Dustin Poirier. As soon as you're rocked by him, you're as good as done. The craft of Dustin Poirier, all right, was just a little bit too much for Benoit Saint Denis to handle on the feet, all right? And let's be honest, dude, slugging with Dustin Poirier is always going to be an absolute recipe for disaster. So I kept freaking out when I saw Benoit trying to slug there in the pocket in the second round. It kind of did look like he fell off of a cliff as soon as Dustin broke the body triangle in the second round to get up to his feet. The first punch that Benoit threw, he took a big sigh afterwards. And you just knew it was because of the staff. I'm just joking. Dustin Poirier proved me wrong. The Poirier fans, all right, I may have been a little bit too cocky. And it sucks, honestly, to get these picks wrong. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because, like, it's one thing if you get the JDM Burns pick right and I predict, a third round TKO, but I don't care about that fight nearly as much, right? Because it's not as interesting to me and I'm not as confident on it. Jan versus Song, I wasn't as confident. Getting that pick right, seeing Jan win tonight was amazing. But it's these ones where I end up so confident and I'm drilling in the ideas and I'm making video after video after video. These are the ones that I really want to get right, and I was wrong. And it sucks. I'm going to be real. Like, the last time I was right on one of these where I was super confident was when Pereira knocked out Izzy in 2022. And I've got a lot of picks right this year, but it's not always the outcome that I prefer, like Volk getting KO'd against Makhachev, against Topuria. It's Leon beating Colby. I get that one right, but it's not the same, man. It's not the same. If I had just gotten this one right, it would have been the sweetest thing ever. I would have really enjoyed this one if I had gotten this one right. And I'm trying to figure out, what's the next one that I want to get right? Is it the Anthony Hernandez becoming a champion pick? What's the next one that I have to go in on? I don't know. But I'm not just going to stop. Now, I don't do this for every single fight. We have some confident picks in the future. But they're going to be few and far in between. There's a lot of competitive fights on 300. 300, I'm not going to get cocky. Don't worry, guys. I'm not getting cocky. And for the ones that I don't get cocky on, those are the ones that I usually get right. So, Dustin Poirier proves me wrong. Benoit Saint Denis needs to work on his striking defense. Benoit Saint Denis, we'll see if his cardio can look better next time than it did this time. All right, we'll see what goes on with that. I guess the way to determine whether or not there was actually something going on this week with the volcano on his forehead will be based on his next couple performances. All right, but him getting KO'd by Dustin, not a great thing, but he's 27. People have gotten knocked out earlier on in their career, and they've come back, they've bounced back, and they've done well. Look at people like Makhachev. Look at people like Justin Gaethje. Got knocked out a bunch of times. We were calling him Homer Simpson, especially after the Charles fight. Look where he's at now. So what is next for Dustin Poirier? Well, there's a bit of a logjam in the lightweight division. Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan is the number one contenders fight. Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway, basically another number one contenders fight. If Gaethje loses, are we really going to clamor for another fight between Dustin and Gaethje, a trilogy? I don't think no one's asking for that. Arman Tsarukyan loses, Dustin just fought a contender, a young guy. I think for Dustin, unless you want to do a Charles Oliveira matchup, if Oliveira loses to Arman, that could be a fun rematch. Because again, there was some controversy there where Oliveira grabbed Dustin Poirier's glove and used it to his advantage and actually got like a really dominant position from that. There's a little bit of controversy there. Maybe you could do that. But, you know, I don't think Dustin is that close to getting a title shot because of the logjam. Maybe he could move up into welterweight. Maybe he could just chase after fun legacy fights, big title fights for the BMF belt, because the UFC loves putting the BMF belt on the line these days. Maybe he should do something like that. Someone in my chat suggested a Rafael Fiziev fight, maybe a McGregor comeback, but I don't think McGregor's going to want to come back to fight a even tougher matchup than Michael Chandler, especially the guy that just kicked his ass twice. So, who else could he fight? Someone at welterweight. Maybe Ian Gary, all right? Maybe a little P-head Gary, who is only 180 pounds in the cage, and if you think about that, that's not very big for welterweight. I bet Ian Gary could make lightweight. Dustin Poirier is probably about 175 minimum in the cage, so that could be a good fight. And for Benoit, I want to see him fight Gamrot. Maybe Justin Gaethje if Gaethje loses. That could also be fun. Or maybe someone like Fiziev too, who would have to fend off takedowns from a really big lightweight, and that would be a sink or swim matchup for both of them, especially for Benoit against a really good striker like Fiziev. So it was a good fight. Classic Lucas Tracy cursed moment watching my pick get destroyed. But it is what it is. That's the name of the game. That happens sometimes. We'll get this one back in the future. All right. I don't know which matchup it's going to be. I don't know the next hyped up prospect on this channel. But I'm still a Benoit Saint Denis fan. I'm still a Dustin Poirier fan. Good matchup. And now I'm going to make my recap video for the entire card. Stay tuned for that one. I just wanted to get this one out first. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time.